Okay, welcome to Friday's Philosophy of Unfuckisism. And we're going to get into this today. I want to tell you a story first about Albert Einstein. And he says that his mind experiments, thought experiments, is one of his most powerful tools in his life. He kind of explained this as he was chasing a beam of light in his imagination. And he was imagining that he can catch up to the beam of light to understand the speed of light. But he understood that we'd have to change time, because once you'd catch up with light, it would actually freeze. It would cease to be light. Don't ask me to explain these crazy scientific matters, because I don't quite understand them all. But I know how this goes with alternative lifestyle design. It's all about thought. It's all about thought experiments. It's about time. It's about many other things. But I thought that would be a nice one to open up today on how to use your imagination. I speak of this on the show called Magic of Mind. And it's through Magic of Mind of how, by the way, I think 2020 is almost in the bag. I think I've got enough money pre-planned so I don't have to think about it. Give me another 4 weeks and I think we're on it. I didn't realize I didn't do the math correct, but that came from mind thoughts, thought experiments, coming up with an idea and making it happen. So with that, let's get into the show. Friday, Philosophy of Unfuckisism. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Agent Babshoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. If you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to creating an alternative lifestyle design that improves quality of life for both people and for the planet, exploring alternatives to the daily grind through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life. Rah! So, mind, thoughts. An unfuckasist knows the true value of time and how it can set you free, what it can do for you, what that is necessary. And I think, as I spoke with about Einstein doing mind experiments, thought experiments, chasing the beam of light, I think that's what you need to do, is chase the beam of life. And I think that in order to know where you're moving to, where you're actually traveling, you kind of need to manipulate time a little bit. Unlike, I don't understand Einstein's theory, but in the theory of alternative lifestyle design, we need to know how we got here and how we're going to get out of here. And I see the biggest problem is that we keep piling more and more shit on our lives, into our lives, on our lives, around our lives, everywhere. And this sucks up our time. And what I mean by this is you need time to think. And I speak about this a lot on the show, but it bears repeating. You need time to be able to design your way into or out of whatever it is that you're into. But you can't do that when you've got all these things milking at you. You can't even finish a thought. I'm not sure if people understand what I mean when I say finish a thought. Have you ever started to think about something? I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm a semi-inventor. I do these thought experiments all the time. And I start thinking, like, for instance, my greenhouse right now I'm building, and I keep looking in my mind before it's even built, how many racks am I going to be able to build in this thing? How many hanging baskets and this and that? Next thing you know, somebody called, my phone rings, or the children need something. And you kind of lose your thought. You were building and building, and then it kind of all gets wiped out unless you can come back to it and remember everywhere. It's like you were taking a journey, then you stopped. And I think this happens to us constantly. So fuckasists, which is the opposite of unfuckasists, like to pile up and don't realize that this is what's happening in their lives. That's the reason why they can't get out of where they're in or get ahead. It's because they don't have the time to finish thoughts. An unfuckasist will do everything in their power to streamline their lives, to make sure that they do have the time to be able to create more time, if that makes sense. An unfuckasist knows the true value for value exchange. In business, that's what people want. They want value. So you need to give them value, but you also need to get paid. And I think this goes beyond just business. This goes in life. You see, an unfuckasist realizes, okay, I'm going to give a lot of stuff out there for free, but eventually I want something in return. I want to gain your trust, and then I want to do business with you. When you go sell a job, you need value for value exchange. You want to make sure that you don't screw yourself, but you also don't want to screw the client, because then it makes you look bad and it ruins your reputation. So I think with people, we have the same thing. You can speak in plain English and try to help somebody solve their problem. But fuckasists, they like to sit in their own problems, and an unfuckasist needs to get away from these people as soon as possible. So that brings me to the last point of this value for value exchange understanding, is that look at those who came before you: Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, many other people who've given themselves, and what happened? They either got murdered or they got overthrown in prison. So many people who've given so much, I think, had to sacrifice themselves. So I think an unfuckasist should be wise and should be aware that while it's good to give, good to help, you should not overextend yourself and actually fuck yourself and move from unfuckisism to fuckisism. An unfuckasist knows that most health conditions, most health ailments are due to poor nutrition and stress. And an unfuckasist should realize that the body is fully equipped with everything that it needs. I take my information off the Gerson therapy, Charlotte Gerson, who they have the Gerson Institute, who's able to cure people of diabetes and cancers and all kinds of things, just simply by cleansing the body, by taking out of the toxins. And I think that we all get so far into science and trying to think our way through everything and trying to invent our way out of everything, when nature actually has everything in it that we need. We need to observe, I think, a lot more. We need to learn. And I truly, truly believe that the body, the mind, the spirit, and everything is equipped with every single thing that it needs. It just needs to be healthy. I also believe that the body is designed to be able to handle toxins and things, as long as it's not too much, you know. It can't handle, obviously, an injection of arsenic, but the body just needs to have good nutrition, and that way the immune system, the mind, the heart, it needs oxygen, it needs exercise, and it needs a low-stress environment. Going off what we said on the very first one with time, I think if your time is all sucked up and you're stressed out because you just can't even think straight, I don't know, a lot of you guys experience, I get that, I'm having that right now. It's almost like thought vertigo. I've got so many businesses and things going on that sometimes I can't even think straight. So the body and the mind has everything equipped. It just needs to be able to get rest, eliminate, try to get rid of as much stress as possible, and eat the best, healthiest foods. I think in my terms is what we have. A lot of you possibly don't understand that a lot of our foods, almost all of our foods right now, aren't bred for nutrition. They're bred for shelf life and for appearance. So the way to combat that is to take supplements, and lots of them. Take multivitamins. Go get yourself some blood work done, a full blood work panel, hopefully by a functional medicine practitioner, where they take a full blood panel and find out what exactly is going on in your body, what are you deficient in, and not to trust all doctors. The practice of medicine, I think, is really good at setting bones and repairing, all kinds of different things that happen, cutting parts out, putting parts in. But as far as the nutrition goes, don't take my word for it. Look at how much study that goes for doctors into nutrition in contrast to operations and things of that nature. And I think we kind of got things a little backwards here. I skipped one here. So this one's political. I kind of think this one might be some fun. Would you choose Democrat over Republican? If somebody asked if I was a leader or there was a leader, and what would I expect of that leader to say? It would be either or. Whatever's good for the people. In my opinion, go and fuck the people. So it doesn't matter whether it's Republican or Democrat. If either one of these came up with some sort of plan, some sort of implementation into society that helped them out, I think, as we learn in permaculture from nature, living on the edge, that's where I live. I'm not one or the other. On the edge is where the most diversity comes. If you had a lake, the north side would have plants and microbiology that would not exist on the south side, because the south side is a complete different environment. There would be different strengths of medicine, like herbs and things growing in that area, and there'd be different varieties. And depending on what the situation is, west east, north, south, we'd have different uses for this lake, and then everything in between. And I see that the same way as Republican or Democrat or liberalist or whatever you want to call it. It's whatever a true king or queen or ruler of people would put themselves aside selflessness and would have to choose not a side, but what is good for the people, if that makes sense. Last one here, don't count your eggs until you have them in your basket. Further note on that, do not count your eggs until they are on your kitchen sink. And in fact, don't even count your eggs until they're actually finalized, packaged, and put inside the fridge. This is an old farm tale philosophy, because while you're picking your eggs and you put them in your basket, you may trip and fall. One may clink against the other, and you're going to count your eggs, you're going to count your blessings, you're going to count your successes and everything. Well, you do not, in my book, you never really count them all. You can count them for the moment, but things change. But you understand, an unfuckasist knows that he needs to pivot. He or she needs to go with the times, and things are always evolving and moving around. So therefore, even the fact of to count your eggs, to me, is like, it's inventory, that's all. You guys understand what this philosophy means? Most people just count them up. Like, this is what I got, and I'm running home. Everything's good. Well, things will be good for a while. So an unfuckasist needs to understand that we constantly need to keep working. We constantly need to keep ahead of everything. Keep pivoting, keep inventing, reinventing, and changing things around to fit the present environment. And that's the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out and check out on the platforms of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Apple iTunes, Spotify. And as I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Human up, carry on the fire, live it, love it, own it, and bone it.